Hi, good evening to all. Yeah, I'm Gaurav Pandey, your Gaurav Bhaiya. And today in this particular live, I will solve another problem statement. But actually, I just wanted to cover one pattern. That's why I just picked up one question only. That how you can utilize like array as a frequency counter with this string. So that's what I wanted to tell you, and that's why I'm covering this particular question. That the agenda is quite simple. You must understand what if you want to use array as a frequency counter with the string, then what problem statement will have and how you can like attempt it. Okay, so that's what I want to mention. The problem statement that I have today, you can solve this in two ways. Okay, so but before I begin, I just want to know I'm audible and visible to everybody or not. Just tell me, am I audible and visible to all? Attendance is, let it be. Okay, so the problem statement we'll covering today. This is first unique character in a string. Okay, so basically, you remember when we were covering array of frequency counter. So that time we were solving the problem on the like duplicates, unique characters, right? These kind of problem we were solving. And today, why I'm covering this particular problem, even we can take it in the hash map or somewhere else. But I wanted to tell you how you can use array of frequency counter with string. That's what my agenda is. And this particular problem already has been asked in Amazon, Apple, Bloomberg, Microsoft, Oracle, Adobe, Facebook, Goldman Sachs, Google, JP Morgan, and LinkedIn. Right. So just you like I've just named a lot of company names, right? So these are the very top tech giants. If they are asking, definitely they are looking for something in the engineers, right? So that's why this problem becomes very important. Cool, yeah. We'll go to the lead code. They will search for this particular problem, and they will understand the problem statement. Then I'll write the code. Before I begin, I just want to know the energy. I can't see the chats in the chat box. Just tell me. Just tell me. Are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? Yeah, oh, I haven't even opened the Google. Now I have to open a lead code. That is not cool, yeah. Not contest rating. I just want to open the lead code. Here I will go. Hi, Sreta. Cool. Glad to see that you are very punctual and consistent. Now here I'll search for the problem statement. Actually, I haven't opened it earlier. So here I will go. Here is it zoomed or something? Yes, it is zoomed. So now here I'll search for the problem statement, and the problem statement was first unique character in a string. So I'll write here first unique character in a string. I got that question. Okay. Even if that is a easy problem and that also has been asked in multiple companies, right? I've already shown you the names, like all these names, right? And now how you can utilize array of frequency counter, that is most important thing that I'm covering in this particular problem, because you must understand that pattern. Okay, so let's read the problem statement what they have given. Before I read, I'll little zoom it by which others can see a good look of it. Cool. So now they're mentioning, given a string s, find the first non-repeating character in it and return its index. So simple. I hope the problem is not quite clear to everybody. You will have one string. You just want to return the first non-repeating character. Okay. Whenever there is a question of frequency, because non-repeating means frequency is one. That you already understand. Those have watched the array of frequency counter series, they understand this particular thing, right? You want to count, like if there is dependency on the frequency, you will go for the frequency counter, right? So now there is a dependency, because if this something is unique, they will have the frequency as one. Cool, yeah. So now first non-repeating, uh you know first non-repeating character in it and return its index. That is the problem statement. And if it does not exist, then return -1. Like for example, in this lead code, you do not have even a single unique character, right? So that's why you're returning 0. For example, next in, oh, not 0, that index you have one. Okay, you have this L, sorry. You have one L, that is a first non-repeating character, so you're returning 0. That is the index. Cool here. Now here in the second, you will have what? This L is repeated, this O you have repeated, this V, that is unique. That is unique. So the index of this V is 2, right? The index of that V is 2, so you are returning output as 2. Similar for this, here you don't have any unique character, that's why returning -1. So I hope now this is quite clear to everybody. What we are looking for, we just want to find the first unique character. If that exists, we return the index, otherwise -1. That is the problem statement. So in how many ways we can solve it? We will have around multiple ways. I'll just show you one by one. So the one way can be possible. For example, I'll take the same example. That's the example I have. What was given already. I'll take that same example. Here the example was, let's suppose this love lead code. Okay, so love lead code. Very good evening, Prince. So here let's suppose we have a string. Okay, that is love lead code. So you can have multiple ways. The one way can be possible that you count the frequency of each character. Okay, and actually I just want to tell you how you can use like ASCII values. Okay, and how you can convert them into indexes and you can access the value. So what you can do is that you can count the frequency of all of them, and whatever is having, like, if you iterate it, whatever the character is having the frequency as one, we can say that is the first unique character. For example, I have the frequency of L, that is 2. Again, the frequency of that is also 2. The frequency of B, that is 1. Right, again the frequency of E, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Again the frequency of L, that is already counted, right? The frequency of T is another one. Again C, that is another one. And again D, that is another one. But the thing is that first unique character you wanted to find. So when you will iterate this, you will get the first unique character, that is V only. Right? That is V only. These are also unique characters, but they are not the first unique characters. So what can be the way, we have counted the frequency, we'll start iterating. The first character we will found as that have frequency as 1, we can return it. So the logic number 1, right? Logic number 1. But now the thing is that how you can use array as a frequency counter to store the frequency. The one way is the hash map, but I haven't covered so far. Right? You can use a hash map. The another way that we can use an array, but how? How we can use an array? The ASCII value, actually, if you want to check the numerical value of a character, that is the ASCII value. So small a is having the value of 97. 97. So if I ask you that, can you convert this whole string to the numbers? Can you convert this whole string to the numbers? You will say yes, but how? You will say, like, if a has 97, then what will b will have? B will have 98. Then what? Like, similar for C, 99. Similar for D, 100. Okay, so this is how you will have the characters, and similar at the end you will have Z, that will be 122. So which means that what if I want to count it? So what will be the size of the array that I actually want? So there are how many characters in alphabets? So there are 26 letters, right? So now what will do if I subtract the value of this a from this 122? What value I will get? Tell me. That will be the size of the actual array. So 122 minus 97, 12 you'll reduce, you will 5, correct? And now here 11 will reduce the, oh, the sh11 will reduce the 9, that becomes 2. You will have 25, right? Which means that if I point this a, right, if I reduce 97 minus 96, it becomes 0. Which means that if I have an array, a frequency array, there can I say, if every time I'm taking whatever character I'm getting, I'm reducing the value of a from that. So 0 will point out to a, yes or no? 1 will point out to b, and again 2 will point out to C, again 3 will point out to D, and this is how 25 will point out to G. Yes or no? This is how 25 will point out to G. How? Look at this. Let's suppose I received L. Okay, so we'll get the number of L, right? So whatever the number of the L, we'll find that, right? And after that we'll reduce the value. So we will have that value. For example, I want to find the, let's say, character of the C. So the value of the C is 99. So 99 minus 97, I will have what? Tell me. Look at this, 2 character pointing out to the C. Right. So what I can do is that I can have a frequency array. There are all the value assigned to the 0, and indexes are pointing out to these characters. Right, the numerical value of these characters. And then what I will do? I will use my array frequency counter concept. Right, array frequency counter concept, and I will store all the frequencies. Okay, so I'm just showing you how you can do this. Let's suppose we have one frequency array. Now you understand why we need that size of array. So now here I will write A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Yeah, a lot. Now again, this 0 index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I want that you should understand array frequency counter, how you can use with the strings. That's what I wanted to cover. Okay, right now all the frequencies that we have, let's assume they are 0. They are 0. Right now all the frequency that I have in this array, those are 0. Those are 0. Okay, so this is the value that is already stored where in the array 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now for example, I have a example, let's say string I have that I have written as code. Okay, code bun for example. So now the thing is that I will count the frequency jk. Yeah, bun I will not take because I haven't used that. I just want a simple like where I can utilize everything. So I guess lead code is good. Oh, I have defined. No, nobody I will define here. J, K, L, M, N, O. So now here you will have 12, 13, and 14. Right, and all the remaining value will be assigned to 0. Will be assigned to 0. Yeah, just understand this pattern, then you'll be able to solve all the possible problems on the based on the same pattern. That's why I'm taking this much of time in this particular question. Okay. Now the thing is that for example, the string I have lead code or love lead code, then V I don't want. I have this lead code. Okay. So the thing is that you'll count the frequencies, you'll count the frequencies. So how will you count? You'll take this L, you'll subtract the A. Basically, you know how this subtraction will happen? You will access the value of L. You will access the value of L and the value of this thing A. So value of A is 97. Okay. Like, you know, previously there was a guy who was asking for the question list, and I've never seen that guy back again in the live. I don't know he's doing or not, but probably he left from here, right? Because he was thinking he had that list and he can solve questions by himself, and probably that will help him a lot. Anyway, give me a message on LinkedIn. I'll share with you that list that I have currently. Anyhow, I'm updating it, but probably that can change your mind and you will do copy pasting or something, but you will not join the live, and probably you're lacking learning. So if you need, come and send me a message on LinkedIn. Probably I'll share with you. Okay. So now here we have 97. Now what the value of L? What is the value of L? If I'll add 97, this becomes how much? 11. This becomes 108. Correct only. So now which means that if I'll subtract it, how much what value I will get? I will get value as 11. So which means on 11 index I can do plus plus. Yes or no? That's how we do in the frequency counter. Whatever the number we get, on that number we do plus plus. So here on the L we will have 1. Because here I'm not covering the questions, I'm covering the patterns that you need to understand, right? So 1 will come here. Again the E will have the value of what? E will have the value as 101, the ASCII code of E, right? That is 101. Now what will happen if you'll subtract? If you'll subtract 97 means the value of A, you will have 4. On 4 index you will do plus plus, so this becomes 1. Again on the 4th index you will do plus plus, this becomes 2. Again you have T, so somewhere you will have T, then you will do plus 1. Again you will have C, on the C you will do plus 1, right? Similar for the O, you will do plus 1. Again similar for the D, you will do plus 1, and similar for the E again, back again E, and with the E becomes 3. E becomes 3. So now what you will do, you will iterate this particular string, and now if this L is having whatever the first character is having the frequency as 1, can I say this is the first unique character I have? Can I say this is the first unique character I have? Yes or no? Understood? Right? How you can use this array as a frequency counter? That you need to convert your string values to the numbers that can be used as an index in the frequency counter array, and only then you can use it. Cool. Yeah. So now if I have L, I'll check. So L means how will you check? Again the same thing. You will access the character, and again you'll subtract the A. You will get the value of the index. So that is L is 108 minus 97. Again, this becomes 11. Check on the 11 index. Do you have value as 1? Yes, we have value as 1, which means that that is the first unique character. Yes or no? That is the first unique character. So we can return L as like we can return what? L or the index. The index, the 11 or what? The index actual available in this string. So index of this L is 0. So basically, you will use this frequency array to check the frequency, and you'll use this as a string to iterate from starting to end. So wherever you get one, you'll return that particular character and you'll stop executing. Basically means if you'll iterate your L, you'll get the frequency 1, you will say this is a unique character, and you will return that index, that is 0. I hope now the strategy, the problem statement, and the solution is quite clear to everybody. Now, what can be the another way? Solution number 2 is also possible. What you can do, you can check the index of, right, the index of. So you can start iterating the whole string and use an index of method, or find the index of every character. So if the first and last index is same, we can say that is a unique character. Yes or no? So if you will check here, if you'll get the index of this, so that is 0, the first index and last index. So you can have a method or iteration from starting and ending. So check the first and last character and take the minimum index. Take the minimum index. Okay. So let's suppose this I'm checking from, like, I'm checking for this last and first index. If that is same, I'll return it. I'll return the first index, that is 0. Right? Because that is unique. Only then the first and last index of a particular character will be same. So that concept and this concept you can use it. Okay, so this is solution number 2, but here you are not using array frequency counter. And I wanted to cover that pattern array frequency counter. So I'll write the code for same. Yeah, tell me, is the solution is clear to everybody? How we can make a code? I hope now the ideology and the problem statement quite clear to everybody. That we will have one frequency array. So here I will have one frequency array and frequency array that we used to have in the array frequency counter series, right? And again here I will have new int. Okay, Karan. Oh, Karan, you're back. Glad to see. So now here, what is the size actually we want? Size we want 26. Only then we can utilize 25. LinkedIn ID, you'll search Gaurav Pandey mentor, will get me. Okay, Gaurav Pandey mentor will get me. With that 247 will get me. So because we have total 26 characters and I want to use those characters into this particular array, right? So that's how you will have the size of 26. Cool. 0 to 25 index you will have, right? Now I want to access every character and I want to, right? I want to access every character and then I want to put this into this particular array. So how you can access the character? We can use a for each loop in Java. Then I'll write code in Python and C++ as well. Okay. So now here let's say character I have C and string I have to char array, and here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. So right now what we've done is that, because for using for each loop you need an array. So we have converted this whole string to an array, and now here I will use my frequency array. And you remember what we were doing? We were doing C minus what? The A. C minus A means we are accessing the ASCII value. Let's suppose the value of C is A, that time the ASCII value will be 0 now, because 97 minus 97 becomes 0. Yes or no? So that's how you'll count the frequency of each character. Each character, and they have already mentioned you will have only lowercase. So you don't have to worry about for the uppercase letters. Okay. Now here's the thing. So once we have the frequency, we need to iterate our whole string. So int I equals to 0, I is less than s dot length, yes or no? S dot length, then I plus plus. And here you will check if what? If that particular character is having a frequency as 1, so that you need to check. So if frequency of that particular character, so how will you access the character? So s dot caret is a method in Java to access the character. If that character frequency, and how you will get it? How will you get it? By doing minus what? A. Because right now you're converting back again that particular character to the ASCII code and then to the indexes, right? So for example, if you are getting C as character, then C, the ASCII value of C will be 100, and 100 like 100 or 99, 99, right? And 99 minus 97 becomes 2. So you're targeting the second index. And you remember in our representation, second index was pointing out to C, right? So again, if the frequency is what? If the frequency is 1, I can say this is a unique character. In that case, I will return that index. I will return that index. Otherwise, at the end, if I haven't found that even a single unique character, I will return -1. I will return -1. Quite clear, but the important thing was that how you can convert a character to a ASCII code and you can use in an array. So that's what the important thing. And I hope that this is quite clear to everybody, right? And it's working fine. I'll submit it. Even if that index of method is quite faster than this particular thing, but I wanted to cover this particular pattern. Okay, so and if you submit it again, probably this will come in 4 milliseconds or 5. But this is a good solution. Okay. And I hope this is clear to everybody. Now I'll convert the same code in the C++. Okay, the same code in the C++. So I'll go back here. But the thing is that in C++ you don't have an array. You remember we were used to use the vector. So vector that will store the value as integer, and here the vector name is frequency of size 26, and every value is assigned to the 0 already. You don't have to use two-char array. Why? Because strings can directly iterated in C++. So you will have the same thing to calculate the frequency of each character. Again, the thing is that you don't have to use char at method directly in string. You can use the array notation, right? This is square bracket to access that particular character. And this is how you have converted the whole code in C++. Same as Java. The remaining syntax is similar to Java. And now if I'll submit, what is the time complexity of this particular program? Can somebody tell me? Time complexity of this particular program? If I'll submit, it should beat 100%. But it will beat, don't worry. Like no problem, my system is weak, that's why it's taking time. But this will beat 100%. You'll submit at your end, you'll get 100%. Don't worry. Okay. So now I'll try it again. No. Jiddi man. Aha. No worry, you will get. My system is probably busy, that's why it's taking time. Otherwise, this is a good algorithm. Okay, so now I hope that this is quite clear to everybody, right? And now we'll convert the same code to the Python. But in Python, there's a glitch. In Python, you cannot directly subtract the character from character. Okay, so for that purpose, we have to do a few things. First, I'll copy the code here. That is also the important thing. I forgot. We'll go to the Python because I don't want to write the complete raw code. So now here you need a frequency list. I will have frequency list assigned 0 and size should be 26. Okay, now I need a for loop. So probably I will use a for in loop. So for C in S, right, that is a string, and every time you will subtract it. But the thing is that in Python you cannot directly subtract the character from character. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to use a method that is ORD. Okay, that is ORD method. Basically this method convert a character to the ASCII value. Okay, ORD method, basically this method convert a character into a ASCII value. So basically here you will have, let's suppose if you have C as A, so that is 97, and here this is 97 itself, right? So subtracting it, and you will get that particular difference, right? And that's how that you're using in this particular array. Cool. But now how will you access this? So I need a loop back again. So for I in range of length as, cool, and here we go. Cool. So now here what you will do, tell me. We will access that particular value, right? So probably I guess we are accessing, but again you cannot directly subtract it. You need to convert that particular character into ASCII value. So ORD is a method, ORD, and here you're converting your character to a ASCII value. Directly you cannot have a subtraction characters in Python. Okay, so this is what we wanted to do. Probably works fine if everything is correct. Yes, it's working fine. Now I hope this is quite clear to everybody. Please tell me how you switch from different languages. Uh, Actually, Fatima, it's been around 4 to 5 years to me while writing the code in multiple languages. So basically, if you're doing a job, you must be flexible to learn multiple languages. Trust me, when I say this is a suggestion for everybody. You must have that capability that you learn everything, whatever comes in your way. So when I was working as a backend developer, then I had to learn a lot of things. Then I choose to be a mentor, then I had to learn a lot of things. And then now, so because of, it's been around, I guess, 5 years while I'm working on the 12 languages. That's why I probably lesser I get confused. But sometimes yes, sometimes I get confused in the methods, because in different languages there are different methods, or probably some same also with different syntax. So sometimes I get confused. Okay, if this is clear to everybody, if you don't have any doubt, then we can wrap probably. And thank you guys for joining this. I request everybody, rather than just only understanding the solution, also understand the pattern. That is the most important thing here. And start participating in the LeetCode contest, that I request to everybody. Have good rankings on LeetCode contest or like GFG or somewhere. But these contest ratings will give you, you know, a higher chance of resume selection, a higher chance of coding, like cracking a coding interview, and a lot of things. Yeah, that is true, Prince. Okay, but start participating in the contest as well. You'll understand how much amount of knowledge you have. Okay, start participating in the contest. So basically, LeetCode have a contest on Saturday and Sunday. You can participate there. Try out to GFG, HackerRank, CodeSafe. So on the different platforms, start participating in the contest. Once you have a good rating, the contest rating, you will have, you know, a good chance of getting a good job. Time complexity is linear, correct only. Time complexity is linear here. And space complexity is constant, because this is not taking an space complexity. Why? Because this is a fixed space. This is a fixed space. Okay, and that's why we're not taking any extra spaces. We're just taking little auxiliary memory, but that is a fixed space. It's not dependent on the input size. Okay, so space complexity is constant, big of 1, and time complexity is linear, big of n. Okay, then see you tomorrow in the next live. Till then, take care. Bye bye. And if you really enjoyed this video, like the video, share with your friend. And if you're coming for the very first time to the channel, subscribe it for having the further update. Also, probably you'll get very soon a good video on previous year coding question on the Cognizant. Very soon I'll upload here. Till then, take care. Bye bye to all. See you in the next live.